Hey everyone, welcome back to my Introduction to Python course. Today we're going to be going over if statements, elif, as well as else statements. This is going to be a very fun lesson for me, and hopefully it's fun for you because this is actually one of my favorite topics in Python. There's so much that you can do with these, so let's go ahead and get started. All right, to get started, what we're going to do is we're going to set up a way for our user to enter in a specific input. In order to do that, what we need to do is we need to go ahead and set up a variable. So I'll go ahead and have the user enter in a number. And remember from previous lessons, and if you're not sure, you can always click on the link in the video description. Previous lessons, we went over input statements. And so what I want the user to be able to do is I want them to enter in a number from, let's say, enter a number between 5 and 15. Okay. Let's go ahead and put a space right here. Okay, so one thing that we have to make sure that we're careful when we're doing this is because I'm going to have the user enter in a number, I need to make sure that the input is in integer format. Otherwise, it will be in a string format, and it will give you an error if you try to put in an actual number. So I'll go ahead and say int right here. Oops. And that way we can enter in our numbers. All right, let's go ahead and start with our if, elif, and else statements. We can say if num is less than 5, I want the program to print out your number is below 5. Please try again. Okay. And so what that's going to do is let's go ahead and print that or run that. And if I enter in a number that's less than 5, so let's just say 1, there you go. You can see that the program outputs exactly what I printed. Let's clear our screen really quick, and let's go ahead and create our elif statement. All right, elif num is greater than 15, and let's go ahead and remember to make sure that we properly indent everything. So I print that, and elif basically is just a way for us to continue with another if conditional statement with our if statements. And so I can say your number is greater than 15. Please try again. Okay. And you can see I have the exclamation points because I want the program to yell at us if we get it wrong. But let's go ahead and we can actually test this out. It's always a good practice to test out each line of code just in case. We already know below 5 is working, so let's see if we can do above 15. And there you go, it's working properly. All right, and then next we're going to do our last statement, which is else. And you don't actually have to put anything, like what we did up here where we put num is less than, num is greater than. You can actually just leave else by itself because we don't have any more conditional statements. So obviously the last thing that we can put is we can say print, and we can say great job, your number is between 5 and 15. Okay. And I can say, period. And then let's go ahead and test it out. So we can say, we can put 10, right? Okay, there you go. So that right there is a simple way of using the if, elif, and else statements. And, there are a lot more things that you can do with this. And I'll go ahead and give one more example. Okay, so now we can work a second example. And what we're going to do is we're going to do the same thing, except we're not going to use the elif. We're just going to use an if statement and else statement. And so let's go ahead and do that. What we can do is we can still keep the same variable using the input of the integer. And we can say if num, so kind of similar, we could say if num is less than 5, and or is a keyword. You can also say and, but in this case we can say or num is greater than 15. So kind of similar what we were doing earlier. Then I want it to print, and you can use double quotes or you can use single quotes. It doesn't really matter, just as long as you're consistent throughout your program. You can say your number needs to be between 5 and 15. Okay, and then we could say else print your number is between 5 and 15. Great job. Okay, so let's go ahead and see how this or keyword works. We can go ahead and print. And if I were to do kind of similar to what we were doing earlier, and I put 1, it just gives me, what this says. Let's go ahead and test it out the other way. I'm kind of using the same numbers that I used beforehand. I'll go ahead and print. Press enter. Your number needs to be between 5 and 15, so that's good. Let's go ahead and run it again. Now let's go ahead and do 10 again. Your number is between 5 and 15. Great job. So that's just another way that you can write your if and else statements. Kind of save line of code, but you just have to be careful with how you use and or. They're very not similar, but they're very simple to use. So just like I said, just be careful. Test it out, try these different statements, and just have fun. So that's the end of this tutorial. As always, feel free to comment, leave suggestions in the comment section below. Make sure you share this video, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell, and you liking, you subscribing, and sharing this video will definitely help my channel grow. So thank you, and see you next time.